Good morning all. Here we are at the last lesson on creating template SEO, in which the procedures are addressed to insert the placeholders on the page that will be useful for generating the project. In programming side, placeholders are commands enclosed within braces or curly bracket. So basically what we have to do now, we simply have to replace the three text strings with the relevant placeholders. For example, by replacing "this is my H1" to open brace, H1, close brace. And the same thing with the field to follow, open brace, text, close brace. And finally with an H2 writing, with an open, H2, and close brace. Once this is done, we can delete the three text strings and update the page. Delete and delete the last string. The only thing to avoid on this stage is when you write the tag. Do not write lowercase h1, but it should be uppercase h1. Otherwise, they will not be placeholders, and in the generation phase, it will be very useless. So update, save the page, and prepare to move to the wizard. We've created an account to log into the platform before tackling the writing of a SEO project, because there are control functions of the sources that will be very useful in this phase. There are indeed many different WordPress ID templates in use, and very often the management of these three tags can be different between template and template. For example, there are WordPress templates that by default print the page name, then template SEO as an H1. Others that print by default more on H2 because we have associated short code, or many others that may derive from a badly set footer, and this to mention the first three examples that come to mind. Having a tool available to give you information on how to act at a source level in a very precise way will be very essential in getting a perfect template in a very short time. So let's copy the page URL and let's move on to the platform. We do not need to set the project. We will do it later. Now we use this very important function, my source. So click in here, my source. We insert in this field the URL to analyze. In this case, that of the newly created template, and click Analyze button. We start scanning the page. The response that is very important to get back immediately if we have worked well is as follows. For each of the three tags, we must be able to read them. For tag H1, perfect. I found one H1. The placeholder is present, and it's the following. The same thing for tag H2. Perfect. I found one H2. The placeholder is present, and it's the following. The same thing for the paragraph. Perfect. I found one paragraph. The placeholder is present, and it's the following. I suggest that from now on, we cannot go wrong, and we will have to be very precise. It is also the reason why the different responses of this function in reference to the many WordPress in use have been cataloged in order to give you a clear and precise picture of the errors to avoid. That is also the subject of our next lesson, on how to avoid the most common errors in creating the template. Depending on the different answers you will get, we will explain what mistakes you are making and how to correct them in order to arrive at this level of perfection. Thank you for your attention. See you on our next lesson. Bye.